Hey everybody, welcome to SDM and to the 2.5 people who watch this channel. And I want to wish you a great 4th of July. Hopefully you can unwind a little bit after everything that the world, the country has been through in the last year. So on a video I'm putting up today, it's the title is from a couple of months ago. The title is Lolo Jones. I don't really know who this person is. 38 opens up about difficulty dating. You give up hope. There's a lot to unpack here, and I think it's some important subjects. So let's begin. Lolo Jones is opening up about her dating life in a candid social media post about the difficulty that she's faced in her quest to find a partner. The 38-year-old Olympic hurdler and bobsledder, so she's an athlete, has been open about romantic relationships in the past, sharing that she was a virgin at the age of 37, female incel territory for someone who is frankly super attractive, but was, quote, saving herself for marriage. She later said that her candidness was a mistake, telling Kevin Hart, "That killed all my dates after that," during a conversation in January 2020. Now, over a year later, Jones went on a life rant, sharing that she has options, but is really just bored with dating, especially as she gets older. "I think after so many times of getting my hopes up that I will meet your person, you just get over it, you give up hope." She wrote, "Look, I'm no spring chicken, I'm 38 years old. The good news about being this age and talking to other guys this age is they are usually serious about dating and meeting their match too. What a relief. It doesn't mean that she has been able to accomplish that, has she?" Still, she admitted it's hard to date. Jones went on to explain that she feels as though she's picking between two extremes when it comes to the types of men she dates. One is a Christian guy, one guy's not, one guy's a workaholic, and the other is unmotivated. "I'm torn between personality and character, looks or morals." There's a lot to unpack here. It's kind of a sad situation, to be honest. 2 points I'll make out. So where I might differ from the manosphere, as they usually confront these types of things, is one, I don't really think that there's a wall like a lot of guys in the red pill community think. Why? Because if there was, there wouldn't be the most searched for adult site or adult topic on an adult site that rhymes with hub. I should say like corn hub, but replace the C with a P. Because one of the most searched terms is a genre called MILF. A lot of men are crazy about women between 30 and 50. And makes sense to me because a lot of guys are sick of the immature BS that comes with chicks under 30. And I'm kind of in that camp myself these days. It's like once you're with a quote real woman, once you're with a woman who's like 35 and up, you almost feel like you don't even like want to waste your time with these 20-year-olds who you have nothing in common with and are whining about life constantly and don't really know how to navigate the bedroom. So with that out of the way, if I met a woman like that, 38 years old, there's no wall to speak of. She's perfectly attractive. The issue, let me back up. The other thing that to me is not such a big issue is that she's saving herself for marriage. So I don't know what this is, if this is like a Christian thing, and I, of course, have to respect that. That is kind of being part of the solution, so to speak, when it comes to a lot of like Western culture, lost a sense of morality among a lot of people, and if somebody wants to uphold that, I really respect that. So why has it taken her, let's say from 18 until now, why has it taken her 20 years? So this is where we start going into the psychological, I don't know, the pit of darkness. So something isn't right here. And what we're looking at is, I guess you could say analysis paralysis, too many choices, but over and above that, it's what I have to point out to be ego-driven, entitled female dating standards in the West. I know that's a lot to chew on, but this is the other half of the problem of what I consider to be like a relationship marriage, dating crisis in America and England and Australia, Canada, is there's this attitude that I'm a strong, independent woman. I don't need no man. And then they start saying that there's no good men out there. But we know that's not true because there's so many good men in America, right? I mean, if you do the multicultural perspective, why are just like schlubby white guys so popular in many parts of Asia? Because the local men in, I don't know, Thailand, Philippines, have a reputation of gambling, walking away from their families, and not working hard. Unfortunately, that is the reputation. And so schlubby white, like the schlubbiest beta white guy in the West, has a reputation for working hard, being loyal, taking care of everyone. And for women in these many countries around the world, they're like, oh my God, this is like, a dream come true. I've been searching my life for a man like that. And this schlubby guy who works as an IT guy and doesn't really hit the gym very much and is kind of pasty, also happens to make more money than a lot of people in those countries do. But on top of that, they're also loyal, right? And they take care of their families. Like if you want a man, get a quote beta male, a provider type of guy. If you want a man who's gonna take care of everyone and always just be a good virtuous person, because a lot of those qualities back in I don't know, the 50s, 40s, 30s, 40s, 50s, these weren't beta male qualities at all. That was actually called being the alpha, stepping up to the plate, taking care of your family, and being a good, honest, virtuous member of a community, and taking care of your, being good to your wife and being a loving person. And hopefully you don't want to just be a schlub forever. You should hit the gym, and you should be a leader and work on developing yourself and all of that. And all of that's possible. You get someone who's a schlubby guy in his 20s, and by the time this guy's in his 40s or 50s, he might be a complete Chad. It just takes a little while for men to grow into that and become a greater leader, become all these things. The point I'm making is that by all standards, America is full of high quality men. You can toss a rock into a room and you'll probably hit a man who in many parts of the world would be in high demand. So why is it that there's a crisis where career-driven women are always complaining there's no good men? Because they have ridiculous standards. Women don't like to date beneath them. And so when they are an Olympic athlete, they will feel turned off by being with any man who is less than an Olympic athlete. How many men do you meet who are Olympic athletes? It suddenly narrows that dating pool down significantly to just very few people. But this is low consciousness behavior, right? So these are women who are being driven by their ego and kind of this carnal, primal behavior, way of looking at life, where it's all about status. It's all about what maybe turns you on in the moment, and it's not about looking at things long term and getting to know somebody for who they really are. Look, men do the same thing to women, but women in the West really do it to men. So this plays out just naturally just in the dating field in any big city. We have women who, you have a woman who is COO of a company, or let's just say very successful in her own company. Let's say you have a fitness trainer who makes, I don't know, 6 figures in Los Angeles. She's not going to want to have a man in her life who's a construction worker, even though as a construction worker, he's probably bringing in $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year, so good money, and he's just a strong, capable person. Now, in a normal, healthy, functional relationship, they might end up together and it will be perfectly fine. It'll probably work out. But when you're dealing with egotistical, shallow behavior, which is what dominates the West, the construction worker gets ruled out immediately because, again, women are biologically driven not to date downward. They want to go upward. What do you do when you're already at the top? Then suddenly all the other men turn you off. But this is it's like a biological, neurological trap that kind of needs to get overcome. Just like men are attracted to, I don't know, big boobs or blonde hair, whatever it is you like. But you can't always use that as a standard forever and ever, right? You might meet someone you really click with who doesn't look like what you're biologically driven to want. You have to stop. Look, my point is you got to stop thinking with your reptile brain. It's an epidemic, a pandemic, I should say, in the West of people, and I'd say it weighs heavily on the very entitled culture among women to think with their lizard brains and to be proud of it. So that's what we are looking at here. That's the best way I can break a situation like this down. Why did she give up hope on dating? Because she's thinking with her lizard brain, nothing is good enough for her. She'll never be satisfied. She'll never be content. She will never be willing to be vulnerable enough for even a minute to be able to give herself to somebody else. And she's in conflict between what she thinks is some kind of Christian value to save herself for marriage, which was respectable, but also being all these negative Western kind of cliches. So what you have is an attractive 38-year-old virgin as a result, a real conflict. And just some kind of introspective analysis on her part within the last 20 years could have gotten her out of this spiral. Maybe she should have gone backpacking and, I don't know, just journeyed beyond her career and ambition as an athlete and tried to see life a little bit and explore relationships with people. And she might have been able to get out of this cycle that she's in. But look at this, you end up with a 38-year-old female incel who nonetheless is very attractive but is caught in this cycle that she can't get out of. Pretty sad, pretty desperate, and really indicative of the times that we're in right now. So again, recap, I don't think that there's a wall going on because she's obviously very attractive and a lot of men are into that. But she's never going to get out of this cycle. And when she does get into a relationship finally, or does get married to someone, how much you want to bet that relationship has a life expectancy on it, and it's not very long, which means a future of cats as she goes into her 50s. Yeah, it's just really sad. All right, so thanks for watching. Leave a comment and subscribe if you haven't done so yet. Little tiny channel, get it off the road. And you can reach out to me personally in the email down below. I do coaching with people, help them out with their love lives. So I will do some one-on-one with you. I'm affordable, just some rando on YouTube. So why not? And I'll catch you guys on the next video.